computer, I guess. I don't know if it's recording. Hopefully it's recording. So welcome everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started with our meditation for stress. Go ahead if you're comfortable doing so. Actually, it looks like everybody's already turned off. You stopped your video, which is great. I'm going to make sure everybody is muted here. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and get started. You can always send me a little note in the chat if you need to reach me as well. Or you can unmute yourself and say something if you need to. But right now I'm sitting on a bolster. You can't really see me underneath here, but I'm sitting on a pillow that elevates my hips so that my knees can drip out and relax. So if you need to do that, I know that I think a few of you may be sitting on a chair or a sofa. That's absolutely fine too. We'll go ahead and get started wherever you're comfortable getting started. So find that place, relax your shoulders, and we can even rock your shoulders side to side. And then we can lift up tall with the crown of the head, relax those shoulders here. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And we'll just get a baseline here without doing anything. Go ahead and keep our lips sealed, breathing in and out through the nose. Just start to allow your mind to drift 100% to you. And as your mind really focuses on yourself, I want you to tune into what you're bringing in today. Get that baseline reading for your stress level, perhaps for any anxiety. Maybe you even tune into how grounded you feel, or the opposite, how airy, how kind of in your head you feel. And then tune into also your actual physicality, so your physical form. Tune into where you're holding tension. I know most of us hold it up through the shoulder region, some of us through the low back. That's definitely very typical right now. I've had a lot of people recommend low back stuff in classes, perhaps through your hips, perhaps it's even through your facial muscles. So if you'd like to get started here by taking even just 2 fingers and just pressing into where the jaw connects into your skull and maybe even move around in small circles. In the process, relax your shoulders. And go ahead and continue breathing in and out through the nose, and then maybe go the opposite direction with your fingers. Releasing, this is great if anybody has TMJ, or if you just clench your teeth, even without knowing. We're going to release the hands now and bring them to the forehead. From the midline of the forehead down across to the temples, moving in big circles. Moving in big circles, one direction, relaxing your shoulders in the process, and then go ahead and go the opposite way. So a little bit of TLC goes a very long way. So I want you to really tune into how this feels to give yourself a little self-care, drawing your fingers all the way down to the jaw again, and maybe doing big circles here. And then now we take our hands and we come up to the base of the skull here, and then we can just kind of swipe our hands down the back here into the side of this meating muscle. That's that sternocleidomastoid. And then eventually finding your hands on your shoulders like so. You're going to reach wherever you can reach. Maybe you elevate your elbows, press in with your fingertips, and then lower your arms to just almost hang on your own shoulders. Put a lot of pressure there. It's kind of like attracts like, or like helps and assists like. All that pressure we're kind of pushing back. And then slow motion, lower your fingers down towards your collarbones. And then go ahead and lift your shoulders and relax your hands down. So hands maybe palms down. Go ahead and lift up tall here. And we'll go ahead and take a few nice long deep breaths in and out through the nose. The moment we breathe in, I want you to see if you can feel a kinesthetic response with your belly expanding. The diaphragm moves out and goes out from underneath your rib cage out towards your shirt, going out and out to the sides and back, and then it exhale and contracts. So see if you can really tune into the flow here as you expand and contract, expanding and contracting. And maybe you notice the audible nature of your breath as it gently trickles over your vocal cords, as it leaves the nose and comes in through the nose. The moment we start tuning into the belly moving, that's when we start really smoothing out that parasympathetic nervous system. Our sympathetic nervous system's revved up right now. It's that fight or flight response of our autonomic nervous system, and it really kicks in these involuntary responses. So our sweat response, heart rate, all of these things that we can actually control by the breath. So here, as you take your nice next in-breath, go ahead and pause that. As you feel like you've inflated yourself to the max, pause that. Hold that open like you've just blown up a balloon, and then exhale as you contract out through the nose, contract. Go ahead and hold that contraction, squeezing it in, letting all the air leave your nose here, and then go ahead and inhale again. Hold that open. Feel even your rib cage expanding. And then exhale through the nose, breathing out, contracting here. Hold that breath, hold. And then when you're ready, expand and pause. See if your mind and your thinking can pause here too in response. Gonna let Nikki in. And then go ahead and exhale as you gently go ahead and contract here. I'm going to mute you. Hey, Nikki. Welcome, Nikki. One more time, we're going to take a nice deep breath in and expand to your fullest here. Hold that breath. This is great for the elasticity of our lungs. And then exhale fully through the nose, contracting here. Pause there for a moment. Pause. And then go ahead and just breathe naturally here. How the breath wants to flow like this wave-like undulation. You inhale and expand through the belly, then expand through the rib cage, then your collarbones and your shoulders. Come up last, then the exhale, the collarbones and the shoulders lower, then the rib cage, then the belly. From here, we're going to start to do some tapping. So tapping, as I mentioned, is this cognitive behavioral therapy technique that is taught. I know Katie, my partner here at the studio, learned it. She's a social worker, and she learned it in grad school as well as any counseling. They learned it as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out, and we're tapping these specific points. And when we say how we feel while we tap these points, we're almost reliving those feelings. We're going to tap these specific points, and as we do, we're going to actually stop that cortisol and adrenal response going down to our adrenal glands. So adrenaline, rather, going down to our adrenals. So this is a really powerful technique to get over any kind of intense emotion, and then also get over any kind of beliefs, any kind of mindset shifts that you'd like to make. So that's where I also use tapping, which is really, really beneficial. So we're going to start out. I invite you to lift one hand. You're going to take your dominant hand. My dominant hand is my right side. If it's your left side, totally fine. Taking your fingertips, and you're going to find the outer edge of your finger, or your hands rather. You're going to start tapping here. This is called the karate chop point. And so as we think, I want you to at first repeat after me, and then you can do this on your own. This is a script that you can use over and over and over and over again. You can use this several times a day if you need to, as just different news comes out and new things are happening Life is just perpetually evolving. So here, as we tap on this point, I want you to relax your shoulders in the process. See how tall and lifted you can be. And then here, we're going to tune into that sense of, even though, and feel free to repeat after me, I'll pause here for a moment. Even though I feel completely overwhelmed and anxious right now, I love and accept myself fully. And then we'll switch sides, so we'll switch the other hand. So even though I feel overwhelmed and super anxious right now, I love and accept myself. You can add on the fully. I like to add on the fully. Then we're going to just take two hands or one hand. I like to use my middle finger and my ring finger. We're going to come to the crown of the head. So as we're doing this, make sure this shoulder isn't up here, that you're tapping like so. So this feeling of, oh my God, what is happening in our world? So feel free to repeat after me if you feel like that, or just kind of chime in however you're feeling. This feeling of what is happening in our world. Then over your right here in between the forehead. So this feeling of, oh my God, that friend just told me that she potentially has COVID-19 symptoms. Oh my God, this is crazy. I know people now. Right here on our temples, this feeling of complete overwhelm. I am overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I personally have 3 boys at home, and I'm overwhelmed with balancing everything, juggling everything at home. Underneath the eyes, right in between your cheekbones and your nose, that point right here. Oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed by needing to go to the grocery store. Who knew that that would be so anxiety provoking? Needing to go to the grocery store, needing just our necessities, really my basic necessities. And right under the nose, this feeling of I can't take all this news. I have all these things coming from me at all different directions. I just can't take any more news, any more updates. Here I am feeling overwhelmed as far as providing for my family. Some people on this call may have lost their jobs or jobs in limbo. So this feeling of fear, complete fear right now. Maybe your job is okay, but tuning into this worldwide fear that's going around us. And this is this point just right across the sternum here, underneath the collarbones. This is a point that you can even just do if you're standing in the grocery store. You can do this just on its own. This is really effective. You can even quiet your eyes. I want you to fill in the blanks right here, how you're feeling. This feeling of blank. Fill in the blank for yourself. This feeling of stress, of tension. This feeling of whatever that is for you. And then we have 2 more spots. Right underneath you, I have this big sweater on, but right underneath, kind of right underneath your underarm, right here and kind of to the side, closer to, all of us are ladies here, to the breast tissue right here. My husband's next to me. He doesn't really, even he has breast tissue, I guess. There. So this feeling of complete and utter chaos in our world right now. Everything is changing minute by minute. It's very, very stressful right now, period. And then right underneath, last point, I'm going to come onto my knees to show you. Right underneath the breast there, right on your rib cage. So last thing, thinking about how you feel here. Tuning in this feeling of blank. Fill that in for yourself. Feel that as we're tapping on this point. This point can be sensitive for a lot of people. So just tune into how you're feeling here, breathing. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go through that one more time, but we're going to fill in the blanks with things that we want, things that we are really desiring right now and we want to kind of replace. So here, coming back, you don't need to do the karate chop point again, but coming back to the crown of the head. So this feeling of peace that I really want, this feeling of safety and peace of mind, peace in my body, peace with my environment, peace right now, peace, a sense of peace. Right here in between, once again, the eyebrows a little bit above, right at that third eye or ajna point, this feeling of unity and coming together as a community here, our little mini community, and our community in Dexter, Ann Arbor, Midland, Texas, wherever you may be, tuning into a sense of unity with all of our neighbors. We're all in this together. We are in this together as a nation, as a world. Nobody's unaffected, nobody's immune. We are together in this. There's a sense of unity. There's a sense of support from that. So here, a feeling of being supported by our community, by our friends and family, virtually. Then here on the temples here, this feeling of gratitude for our homes, gratitude for those that we are staying safe with in our homes, gratitude for food, gratitude for our health. Fill in the blanks here. What are you grateful for? Gratitude for technology, that we can do this together remotely. I love that people are chiming in from other states. I love that we're able to do this together. So a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude for our breath, gratitude for our bodies, gratitude for our body's ability to heal itself, gratitude for the safety of our children, even though they may be driving you crazy at home. They are safe and at home. So right under the eyes, tuning into a sense of time that we have at home. And while we still may be working, this is a time for us to potentially reinvent ourselves. New social norms, creativity. We might be innovating things. I've never done anything online like this. It's pretty exciting to be able to connect. So thinking about tuning into your own creativity here. What is that for you? It could be very itty bitty, or it could be big. Underneath your nose, this feeling of love for your family, love and appreciation. It's like we suddenly appreciate. I have talked with my brother more in the past 2 weeks than I have in the past couple months. So love all the things that you love, your furry lovies, your family remotely. I've seen a lot of cute little Zoom calls posted on social media with all different generations. So that love, tuning into love. Here, once again, tuning into a sense of I am supported. I'm supported financially. I'm supported with all my basic needs. All of my needs are being met in this moment. And here, on the sternum, a sense of releasing control. I am not in control. I don't know how this is going to end, when it's going to end, what's going to happen to my loved ones, what's going to happen. But here, as I just sit and tap, I'm suddenly feeling okay with uncertainty. I embrace uncertainty as a way for me to move and maneuver this time with grace. So I feel a sense of embracing this uncertainty. And then underneath your arms, tuning into what you want right now. What is it that you want? Perhaps it's just a feeling of safety, connection, quieting the mind. And then last point here, I want you just to think about one more thing. Perhaps it's even something to do with your environment that you're in right now. You can even look around, grateful for your comfy sofa, grateful for your favorite pair of slippers, Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude lifts our vibration. And then go ahead and relax your hands down. Take a few nice long deep breaths. And tuning into how you feel here with your eyes closed. I'm going to read just a quick little paragraph from one of my teachers, Rod Stryker, Yoga Rupa, Rod Stryker. In our more lucid moments, when we have quieted the hubbub of our distractions, we are capable of sensing the power and intelligence that sustain us and everything else. In such moments, it is hard not to feel touched by the sublime, by that which links all the things in the world together, by the eternal essence that is at the heart of our existence. So as we start to relax our bodies in this meditative time that we have carved out for ourselves, I invite you to notice all those connection points underneath your legs, connecting into whatever you may be sitting on, maybe even the outsides of your feet if you're sitting. If you need to, we've been sitting here a while, if you need to switch around your legs, that's absolutely allowed. Relaxing your shoulders. We can even gently exhale one shoulder to one side and just pause there. Pause there as you just smooth out any ripples of tension underneath your ear down to the edge of your shoulder, relaxing your jaw. And then inhale back to center and exhale your ear to the other shoulder. Get a nice sense of elongation here. I want you to imagine as we are breathing here, we're allowing all tension to waterfall off these shoulders of ours. Relaxing your jaw in the process. And then inhale as we slow motion lift up. One more movement for our necks. We're going to take our face. We're going to look over one shoulder. Go ahead and pause there and maybe even drip the opposite arm off your lap and maybe to your side. Go ahead and relax your jaw, relax your eyes. Just imagine it's like this movement, this pause is ironing out tension. You can slowly bring the hand back as we inhale the head back to center and go to the other side, slowly relaxing here. Go ahead and relax your shoulder, or your arm rather, down beside you, that opposite arm. Release your jaw. When we work on releasing tension before we sit quietly in meditation, then we become less body aware, body conscious. So it's almost as if we can move outside of our body and not be so distracted by it. Go ahead and inhale back to center and bring that hand that's down back onto your leg. So 2 more options here, and then we'll quiet down into meditation. First option is if you'd like to bring your index finger and your thumbs together. So your fingers go out. This is our Shin Mudra. This is a mudra for connection. So if you'd like to connect upwards, if you're working on kind of your own spiritual connection, then upwards. If you need more of a groundedness, if you're too into your head still, then flip your palms down, almost like an okay sign, but relaxing your hands on your legs. So either down for groundedness or lifting up. And as you decide how you're going to have your hands, then you relax your shoulders even more. And as you are finally relaxed in the shoulders, feel free to close your eyes if you're not already doing so. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose. And as we are meditating here, one of the benefits of meditation is to quiet our reactivity. We quiet that prefrontal cortex, or actually we stimulate it, which really, it's almost crowding out our sense of reactivity. It's stimulating a sense of satiation. So as we're quieting down, we're very satisfied in this moment. And that's all we have to focus on is this moment that we're living in right now. So in that sense where we're quieting down reactivity, I invite you and challenge you to see how still you can be here, especially if you feel like you have an itch coming on, maybe through your scalp, or maybe you have a little itch on your nose. I invite you first to think, oh, look at that, I have an itch. And then to just say to yourself, remind yourself that an itch never lasted forever. So whenever we are meditating, we notice those sensations that bubble up for us, and they will. And then once we notice those sensations, then we can kind of name them and breathe through them and soften them and let them pass, just like a cloud passing in the night. So here, as you are relaxing your hips here, tuning into a sense of groundedness under your glutes, I invite you to draw all of your awareness on your fingers connecting the index finger to your thumb. Go ahead and breathe here and see if 100% of your awareness can rest on the sensation of your fingertips connecting into one another. I'll give you some silence here for a few moments. Tuning into the sensation now of either your palms touching your legs or the backs of the hands touching your legs. Tuning into the hands here. And then becoming aware of the rest of your hand, your fingers, perhaps even your palm, your thumb being fairly active as it reaches across the palm, as well as your index finger. And then tuning into whether your wrists can relax here a little more, your shoulders as well. And we're going to now move from our index finger. We're going to go from our thumb to our middle finger. We're going to then relax the other fingers here. So now your middle finger and the thumb. So once again, your hands can be down if you feel like being very grounded here, or lifted to feel more connective. So just tuning into how this feels. Our fingers symbolize the elements. So as we are connecting them, we're connecting into our own connection with the elements. All of us have a unique ratio of elements in our bodies. Some of us are more grounded, have more earth element. In Ayurveda, the sister science to yoga, there are different constitutions called doshas. So here, just for a few breaths, I'm going to give you some silence as you breathe in and out through the nose, and see how much you can focus on your middle finger and your thumb connected. Gently, gently now bringing your awareness to the outsides of your feet, perhaps where they are connected. Perhaps if your legs are crossed, tuning into the sensation of your ankles, maybe your feet touching your opposite leg. Just in your mind's eye, bringing your awareness there. And here we're going to switch fingers now to the ring finger and your thumb. You don't have to press very hard, it's just a light connection of your finger pads together. Enough to draw your awareness there. Enough to keep your mind stimulated long enough for your awareness to rest there. This is the definition of mindfulness. Choosing one given thing at one given time to focus on. So here we can practice this here, and then we can allow it to be translated into our daily lives, how we are mindfully listening to our partners, to our children, to our loved ones, to ourselves. And then here we'll draw our attention to our mouths, tuning into how your lips feel. If they are connected, tuning into my lips feel a little bit dry, tuning into how kind of the moisture, how moisturized they feel. Tuning into maybe even pressing your lips together. And then release. That actually stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. We have nerve endings there that allow us to feel satiated. Same thing when we're eating or giving a little smooch. So you can press your lips together and then release them. And then tuning into your jaw, how your jaw, the connection of your jaw to your skull feels. You can even take your jaw and rock it side to side. And then go ahead and relax that. Your lips close, but relax your jaw. Maybe even relax your tongue into your jaw there, away from your palate. Maybe tuning into how the backs of your lower teeth feel to your tongue. And then lastly, we're going to release our ring finger. You can even stretch out your hands, your palms for a moment. Do some wrist rotations, and we're going to do one more thing here with our pinky finger and our thumbs, connecting them. That's a real big crossover. If it's not good to have your palms here or here, you can always bring them at an angle. But just tuning into what you need to do here as your pinky fingers and your thumbs connect. Well, once more, sink into some stillness, but really challenge yourself to keep your awareness at your fingers. The moment your mind starts to wander, which it naturally will, meditation takes practice. It's actually a very unnatural state for us to be in. Our minds naturally, our monkey minds naturally want to wander. But as we are breathing and connecting your fingertips, I want you to challenge yourself. If your mind wanders, to bring it back, to tell yourself, this is my time to be one pointed, focused on this one spot, your pinky fingers and your thumbs connection, just for a few more breaths. You can now release the fingers and take your hands now and flip them down. Flip them palms down. You can even take your fingers and kind of squeeze your legs in with all of your finger pads and then stretch your fingers off of your legs, stretching them out. And go ahead and maybe even make some fists and squeeze your hand in and then relax your palms down. We're going to just enjoy some silence here just for a few more breaths. I encourage you once more to see how still you can be as you breathe in and out through the nose. If you need a focal point to drop onto or into, it can be either the breath or the connection of your whole hand on your legs. How does it feel to be still here? Does it feel super foreign? Does it feel luxurious and nourishing? Or does it feel a little bit uncomfortable? Just recognizing how you feel in this meditation, really at the tail end of our meditation. I encourage you now to scan your body and see if those perhaps first tension points where we started have dispersed a little bit, have alleviated just slightly. My shoulders even feel better. There's a psychosomatic response to all that pressure we're feeling. I know that can even cause headaches. I know I had a headache earlier in the week. Feel free to take a nice deep breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe one more time. Really feel that lift and expansion. And then here we can even take your chin towards your sternum and do some big circles, one direction around. And then feel free, once you get to your sternum with your chin, we can go the opposite direction, moving around. And then we can come back to center, lifting up here. And I invite you, maybe you would like to open your eyes here. And I'm going to end with our usual gesture, bringing my hands together in a way to really celebrate and honor not only ourselves, but how we're connected fully together. So in great love, I bow to that place where we are connected. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to actually stop the recording.